So people tend to complain that it's very crowded in the French Alps and so much people. And of course this is correct if you're hiking Tour du Mont Blanc, other areas. But there are some tricks how to avoid this if you don't want to feel that you're on a highway in some sense. So in this video I will give you some recommendations if you plan your own hike in the French Alps or following on a group tour. I have visited Parc la Vanoise, I've done the Tour du Mont Blanc, I've done the Tour de Queyras, and now I'm at the heart of the national park Les Écrins. There are basically two ways if you want to have less people with you on trail. One is to carry a tent, that is quite obvious, and the other concerns if you stay in mountain huts and refuges. Because what you should know is that the large majority that hike in the French Alps, if they stay overnight, they do it in mountain huts, and then you have the same rhythm. You have breakfast at 7, everyone leaves same time-ish, around 8. You have dinner at 7 in the evening, and yeah, you follow kind of a set rhythm. Can do two things. One is of course to start ahead of everyone, but then you will have a rushed morning, rushed breakfast. But what I recommend, and this of course depends on whether you can control this yourself if you're hiking alone or in a group, is to take it slow and arrive late instead. I only got people in front of me. I'm pretty sure I'm the last one going this direction. Of course I meet some people, but that is nice. And from there I came. So if you prefer to have less crowded hiking in the French Alps, I can really suggest that you take it quite slow, not stress and arrive a little bit later than everyone else. But if you still arrive at 6 p.m, you have an hour before dinner to take a shower, drink a beer or something. If you don't want to be stuck between people in front or behind you, is to do choose the way of the trail that most people aren't doing. That means for Tour du Mont Blanc that you do it clockwise instead of anti-clockwise, and then you will meet a lot of people, but they will pass you. So that I can warmly recommend as well. This is where I'm staying for the night. And this is my bed. Perfect. Berries along the track center. So it can be extremely tempting to eat the blueberries that you find, or if you find well, there are all kinds of berries, but the issue, and I didn't know this the first time I was in the Alps, so I took some and ate, is that foxes, they can carry diseases, and when they pee on berries and you eat it, you will gain that sickness, and it's not a nice one. If I'm not mistaken, it shows itself after 10 years approximately. It's a serious disease. So the trail goes right in between, so I will stay here and not disturb them gathering the sheep. Because they are there to protect the cattle from any threats, and you don't want to be perceived as a threat. So what you should do is, well, if you can, easily take a detour, or just remain calm and do not be careful with these. You want to make yourself small of a threat possible, and they will come most likely and want to sniff you like any dog would like to do, and then do not panic, but remain calm and just carry on very gently. As a hiker, should be extremely careful not to separate the herd. If you see sheep on the trail, you should wait for them to move past. She told me about an experience with a trail, someone running on the trail and splitting the herd, and it took her what was it, 12 hours or something to gather the sheep again, because some of them ran down all the way to the end of the valley while the others ran the other way. So be respectful and yeah, just sit back and enjoy and take some photos rather than rushing through. Only 1 kilometer to go downwards to the refuge, then the day is finished. I'm going to be honest, I mean, distance wise it wasn't much, but elevation and descent, it was it's been quite an exhausting day, although wonderful at the same time. So I think this kind of call neatly summarizes the GR54. So you came down there, go up, now at 2,500 meters, and then you go down to the village down there. It's really nice. I should have brought more water. I brought 2.5 liters. I have little bit less than 1 liter remaining. I'm so thirsty. So this was a misplay, but it will be enough to get me to the refuge. It's 10k, and when I get up there, it's not more elevation from that point, I think. So speaking of some indispensable items, the poles, they are really handy in this terrain. It will save you a lot of effort from the knees on the long run. One of the best tips that I've got for hiking in the Alps by somebody was by the guide, mountain guide Fabien, and I did the Tour du Mont Blanc, and it's a technique for going downhill. So you find yourself with a lot of downhill, and that is to do something called 10 heures 10 with the feet, and I will show what this is. So it's basically putting your feet 10 past 10. You don't have to exaggerate, you can find what suits you, but this is actually quite nice. Instead of going like this, or it's good. And then with the poles as well. Don't want to slip and fall down and hurt yourself. We'll show a technique. The technique is that you push. Well, it also helps with poles. Do you really want to dig into the snow like this? And here I will focus on the crossing. So thank you very much for watching this video about hiking in the French Alps, and I hope you learned something useful for your upcoming trip to the French Alps. Profitez!